Welcome back in ERB Sports fans to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about prospecting, specifically around baseball, and whether or not we will have another scenario like we did back in 2009 to 2011, where the market had absolutely no idea who this guy was. Yeah, that's right, Mike Trout. I hear it all the time. You say, you just never know. You never know. Nobody knew who Mike Trout was till he was Mike Trout, right? Well, is that true or is it not true? Because many may recall that when Mike Trout came into the league and was drafted by the Angels, he was drafted relatively young, progressed through the ranks, got into the majors relatively young, had a rookie card in 2011 update, and he was pretty young back in 2011. I don't remember exactly how old he was. I think he was about 20 years old. Drafted in 2009, acquired via draft. He was born in 91, so he went into the league when he was drafted when he was 18 years old, went into the league when he was 21 years old. 21 years old. He's got a career WAR right now of 85.7. which puts him 52nd all-time in WAR. And I think he's now in his age 32 season, if I'm not mistaken. Injuries have played a role in his progression over the last couple of years. He hasn't really played a full season of games in a couple of years. And it really just got me thinking, I like talking with my hands. Really just got me thinking whether or not the market will miss and sort of forget about the next Mike Trout. We just had Update come out. We had Series 2 come out. We obviously had Series 1 come out. We had a lot of good rookies in Series 1 and Series 2. And then Series 3, Update came along, and we were kind of like, this checklist kind of sucks. And then I remember hearing, I step in the box, Brett. He's a friend of mine. Trust me. I love the guy. I would go to bat for anything, any day for that guy. He's done so much for me over the years. He's taught me a lot. But the one thing that he constantly kind of goes back to is, well, you just never know when the next Mike Trout's going to come along. And it got me thinking, like, okay, so Mike Trout is 32 years old, got 85 career WAR, came into the league when he was 20 years old. So how does that happen? Who would those guys be? And many of the suspects are not huge surprises. I mean, I'll show you one. Fernando Tatis Jr. came into the league relatively young. Had he not got popped for steroids, had he not had a season-long injury that put him out, maybe he was the next Mike Trout. But the market was smart enough to be onto him like they weren't Mike Trout. And I feel like the market is getting smarter and smarter and smarter of how not to miss guys like this or that. Case in point, Julio Rodriguez last year, ton of hype. Elly De La Cruz this year, Bowman, ton of hype. Will be a ton of hype in Series 1. Obviously, he's cooled off a lot. Wander Franco, when he first came into the league, people knew who he was. So I feel like the market and marketing of these younger stars is way more prevalent than it was in 2011 to 2009, even before then. So I don't think the market is going to whiff and miss on another Mike Trout in terms of not knowing who this guy is, because you could look through the rookie checklist every year and figure out who the 20 and 21-year-olds and go figure out their metrics and go study them like crazy. Scotty B does a great job of that, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't miss the next Mike Trout. So the premise of this video is the market getting smarter to not miss the next Mike Trout? As to the case of, like, when I skipped most of Topps Update this year, I thought, I don't really need to buy this because I don't have to worry about the next Mike Trout being in that product. I just didn't think so. And as time plays out, we realize even though Mike Trout is Mike Trout and he's a great player and he's got, multiple MVPs, never went to the playoffs, never won any championships, injured like crazy now. So you really don't know what the future holds from here. Is he destined for like an Albert Pujols-like career where he had 100 career WAR, Albert Pujols hit a hell of a lot of home runs. I'm not sure where Mike Trout ranks all time on home runs, but I feel like if he doesn't have a resurgence in the next couple of years, he will go down as a Robin Yount type player. Multiple MVP, very good player, career WAR around 90. He's going to be like Ken Griffey Jr. 2.0. Well, maybe a little worse than Ken Griffey Jr. I don't know. You get my point. He'll be Mike Trout, but will he be superstar top 10 all-time Mike Trout, or will he be top 50 all-time Mike Trout, top 30 all-time Mike Trout? Great player. Don't get me wrong. Great player. But won't go down as the upper echelon, the end-all be-all. So who are the players in the league right now that are in the league for at least a couple years, who came in when they're relatively young, who could be the next guy? Well, Ronald Acuna saw a great resurgence this year, having an MVP season. Shohei Ohtani, he's 28, he's a little older, had an MVP season, multiple seasons like that in a row. Now, if he doesn't pitch again, his career WAR won't explode like it had been. Then you've got other guys that are relatively new, like Gunnar Henderson. Adley Rutschman is a little older, but Gunnar Henderson, relatively young. You've got Elly De La Cruz next year. He'll be in Series 1. Jason Dominguez. Lots of other guys. I just don't see how the market, with the metrics of your top 100 list, your Bowman prospects, your first Bowman cards, I don't see how the market misses and doesn't sleeve a guy up who becomes the next Mike Trout. I just don't see it. I think the market pays way too close attention now to the metrics of the top 100 list, to the talent pipeline, to the first Bowman cards every year, to the checklist, to the ages, to everything. Jackson Chourio, another one. Great example. He's going to turn 20 this year. He's in the Brewers AA system. He needs to go to AAA. Eventually, hopefully make it to the majors by the time he's 21, maybe 22. Still really young, 5-tool player. Hopefully he stays on that path. We don't know. We just don't know. Elly De La Cruz exploded on the scene, and then the dude strikes out more than a third of the time. So, again, you just never know. It's so hard to be the next Mike Trout. But I don't think the market's going to miss paying attention to the next Mike Trout. In fact, what's probably more likely to happen is people will overpay thinking it's the next Mike Trout, only to be disappointed later on. That's what I think is going to happen. So we'll put this video on ice. We'll take a freeze frame in time, and if my channel's still going a couple years from now, we'll do a status check and go through every checklist and figure out, did we whiff on missing the next Mike Trout, or the next Ronald Acuna, or the next Fernando Tatis, or Juan Soto, Elly De La Cruz, Jackson Chourio, Gunnar Henderson. The list goes on and on. It will never end. It's what makes it fun. Julio Rodriguez. I'm forgetting guys. Bobby Witt Jr. You get the picture. There's a ton of them. Spencer Torkelson. I'm staring at boxes right now. I can see them. Their faces are calling me out saying, you forgot about me. So what do you guys think? Is the market smart enough now to not miss the next Mike Trout? Is Brett, overselling the fact that you sleeve up every guy because you just never know he becomes the next Mike Trout? I mean, I truly don't see that happening. There will be guys that you think will be average that become exceptional. There will be guys that you think were great that bust. There will be guys you forgot about who become average to respectable. There's a ton of talent still in the pipeline. That list gets updated every single year. Somebody comes along, but it doesn't mean they're the next Mike Trout. They just might have a good week or two. They might have a good month or two. Then they might fizzle out. We've got a ton of guys coming up here in the near future. We have gotten an abundance of them in the last couple of years. And I think that's what makes card collecting and sports card hobbying exciting. It's exciting to have a box filled with guys that you just think, man, this could be their year. They could be in the majors. Or this could be the next Mike Trout, and I could be sitting on a gold mine. It's really hard to do. So anyway, guys, Let me know what you guys think. How do you think the market will react for future prospecting from this point forward? Are we going back towards where it was in 2011, where we're going to forget about a guy like Mike Trout and then he surprises us a couple years later when he's a multi-time MVP? Or are we going to overpay for that prospect, thinking they're the next Mike Trout, only to later be disappointed? I'm not sure. I think it's a little bit of the latter. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you would, if you did like the video. Thanks again, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.